This is Jonah Hill, and you're listening to the only podcast that matters.
Sasquatch, Godzilla, King Kong, Loch Ness, Goblin, Ghoul, a zombie with no conscience, Throw Gang. We are joined by the spooky season Sultan. Call him Marilyn Monroe because he got those supernaturals. Prince of the paranormal, Overlord of the other side, Admiral of the afterlife. You a spectator, he a specter. You fly spirit, he pods with them. He's the online fupa because he loves that internet underbelly. Emirati of the eerie, head honcho of the haunted, stomach queasy but the abnormal, co-host of the Yeah But Still podcast and host of the new Otherworld podcast, Jack Wagner. Jack, how the hell are you?
Dude, how do you do that? How do you do that every week?
Diet Pepsi.
I'm really impressed with that one.
Thank you.
I mean, I've been on before, but like,
oh, yeah, that's right. Welcome back. Dude.
You really went off
Club.
with that one.
Yeah, two-timer club.
And I appreciate the Jay-Z monster references.
Yeah,
Because that is one of the funniest verses of all time, where he starts by listing like all of the classic Universal Pictures monsters.
Frankenstein.
Yeah, he's
a mummy. He starts like describing scary concepts.
It's
a spooky jack-o'-lantern.
Yeah, it's like his grocery list for Spirit Halloween. It's truly the worst verse on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy from the Undisputed Goat. I
feel like Kanye knew it was bad and sort of was like,
and he put him on just to,
this is great, dude. Like, this is awesome. Like, I'm
a shining comparison. Yeah.
That's totally true. It did make him look good as fuck. Jack,
Kanye
how
was
are
like,
you, buddy?
This is really going to piss off the elders of Zion.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God.
What's good, bro?
I'm doing great. I'm doing really good, actually. I'm having a lot of fun. But in my grind for sure.
Yeah, that's right.
Deep in the spooky grind.
Yeah.
It's like the busiest I've been in a long time.
The grinding goblin.
Yeah, bro. It's spooky season, dude. Congrats on the new pod, by the way.
Thanks. It's doing really good.
What do you mean, by the way? We're about to talk about it for 2 hours.
I don't know. I just, I'm trying to be polite up top. Yeah, I saw it charted pretty high.
Dude, it did chart high, and oh my God. I mean, this is
what chart was that? You better not be coming for the king in the fashion
society and
category.
culture.
Oh shit.
Ooh,
that's a big one.
No, bro, I'm going for the king. I'm in the same. I thought that would be wise, but I'm actually in the same category as This American Life.
Oh, so, okay.
Ira Glass coming for your neck.
Yeah, dude.
But that works out because I've actually said that that's what I want to do. I want to my goal with this show is to make a paranormal This American Life,
Nice.
Which is a weird description, but I think less weird if you listen to the podcast.
No, that's I think that's a very solid elevator pitch, and the fact that you're already fucking got your foot on Ira Glass's neck just kind of proves that you know what the fuck you're doing, dude.
Coming for his ass.
Yeah, for real. Let's just jump right into a fit check so we can get a little vibe going with the Johns, and then we can get into all of the really
interesting.
Spooky
you did say come as you are.
Yeah,
but
what did you went to get socks because your toesies were cold.
Grab some Hanes. Yeah, I just got out of the shower, so I'm in pajama mode.
Wait, are your toes cold because there's a spirit in the room?
Maybe, but no. Also, just because I'm on a bare wood floor.
Yeah, you're pretty anemic.
The foot check, dude. I might have been wearing this sweatshirt last time I was in the podcast.
Really?
I'm not sure, but it's it's a sweatshirt from the band Grave.
Okay,
I might have been wearing this. It's very cozy. But
is it your favorite sweatshirt?
But I didn't come fitted. No,
but that's we talked about this last time.
I pull this out for
low
fall.
Key fitted, bro. You don't.
I pull this out for fall. I'm wearing Boot Boys shorts that are extremely
shout out to Boot Boys,
ripped to shreds, destroyed.
Why are they so destroyed? Are you fucking?
Because I've worn them so much.
Oh,
what are you doing though? Like your woodworking shit, your national park hikes,
everything
what are you doing?
in them.
Those bad boys.
I text Alex from the Boot Boys updates on how nasty these shorts are to the point where when I ordered my last, the most recent shorts they dropped, he included just a second pair.
Oh wow, what a guy! I figured that's why you were texting
in a different color. What?
That's your way of not passively aggressively asking for flow team or humbly.
Well, he does hook it up. I mean, we go back. I've known Schwinn from the Boot Boys forever, and I know the rest of the guys too, but we went to the same college and definitely go back long before he was booting. That's for sure.
Before he was one of the boys.
From a boot boy to a boot man.
I'm a huge fan, and
they
very
rock.
excited for them. He's always been Schwinn specifically. I've known for the longest, but always been one of the sickest dudes I've ever met.
They're
In fact,
they make the best merch, like or whatever, like the bootleg culture. Shout out the boot boys, obviously. I feel like they do it better than like anybody.
I don't know.
It's like their genre.
I what's funny is that like I don't know. I feel bad talking about Schwinn on this pod, but I do remember a moment when he was living in LA and like we were in a pool and he was just talking to us about being like, man, like I don't know what to do. Like he was like working at the Ace Hotel at the time, I think, and we're like, you are the coolest person that we know,
right?
Like you need to figure out a way to just get paid for liking cool stuff and like
having great taste. Yeah,
we're like somehow that's going to happen. I don't know how that's going to go down, but you need to get paid just for being a cool person. And it totally worked out for him.
And look at him now.
Yeah.
No, seriously, like right after that, I think he went back to Chicago and the early form of Boot Boys started just as him and a couple guys making like a single shirt.
Yeah.
But I think that was like, I'm not implying credit, but
no, Jack Wagner, Kingmaker.
No, not at all. But I mean, these are self-made men. But
in 2022, that guy,
boys,
that conversation is just like, I should start a podcast because I'm so fucking cool. Like that's how you get paid for being.
Yeah, cool. I guess it was long enough before. That was kind of before the major influencer era too. So
it used to be, I should start a streetwear brand. I'll put a fucking rose on a t-shirt and like a skull.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to think what. It might have been like 2014, 2015 was when that conversation was going. Probably 2014.
Yeah.
So it was sort of, I mean, now
the bin trill.
Everybody wants to get paid for being cool.
Yeah. You heard it here first. Jack Wagner invented Boot Boys. Okay.
No. redact.
What's the T under the grave crew neck? Or are you going nips on
Boot
grave?
Boy shirt. That's another Boot Boy shirt.
Oh, of course.
Dude, I have a lot of Boot Boys. I mostly wear Boot Boys clothes just because.
What are your boots? Are your boots Boot Boys?
My boots are, I have Solomon boots.
Oh,
I have some sick boots for hiking.
You are
but I'm not
Gorp
wearing any
adjacent.
boots.
You have a Gorp adjacent lifestyle.
Yeah, I definitely I'm out there gorping,
Literally.
especially during COVID. I was gorping.
He's literally outside.
I really am. Yeah.
What's the hat? What's the hat though?
Oh, this is another good chance to plug Cul-de-sac. Cul-de-sac Studios did the logo for my new podcast, Otherworld.
Nice.
So shout out to Colin, very overqualified designer.
He works on movies or some shit. You were saying
Colin does like logos for like literally tequila companies and shit. Like he does not. It's like no business making the logo of a paranormal podcast, but he
Real Money is just
did an incredible job.
The Real Money's in agave graphics for sure.
Yeah, it's in mezcal.
And he worked like I think he's done some. I think he works on Khalid stuff. And
oh wow,
actually one of the people doing the music produces for Khalid too, Chrome Sparks. He's also a musician. So I've tricked a lot of really talented people to work on this podcast.
Yeah, you've got the dream team working on
like
Otherworld.
The Avengers of like internet cool guys just like tapping in and supporting the homie. It's kind of beautiful to see.
It does kind of make me into a freak and I get excited about it. So I think when you're really excited about something, it's easier to get people behind it.
Right.
It's pretty simple, but they also, I think, see me getting a little crazed by it and are curious,
Or they need to rein you in because they see you fucking passing over.
We need to keep our eye on this guy. Yeah, exactly.
Keep on a short leash.
We just need to. I'll do this logo to stay close and just like make sure that.
Do a wellness check.
Yeah. It's like an elaborate. One step before an intervention.
What about the panties, Jack?
Shoot, like some Fruit of the Looms or something. I don't know.
Boxer briefs?
Yeah, boxer briefs.
Okay.
I don't really get too fancy with the underwear.
No one does.
Yeah.
Very few people do.
Well, some people do, and they got bigger.
I mean, I've
problems
definitely
they need to
tried.
address.
That's more of like it's in your blood at a certain point. I feel like that gets chosen when you're younger.
It's what you know.
It's hard to pivot.
It's what you know.
You got to do what you know.
When it comes to your cock and balls, you want to keep it simple and go with what you know.
Same with socks too. I'm like purely. I think Hanes. I just found some that I like, and when I switch it up, it rarely goes well, no matter how nice they are.
Right. It's like the Andre 3000 quote where it's like whatever age a rapper gets famous at, it's the age they stay at forever for like guys in underwear and socks. Like whatever you bought yourself in college for the first time, it's like, that's just mine. That's what I'm going to go with forever.
Yeah.
Just be loyal to Fruit of the Loom till I'm fucking, 6 feet under.
Yes. So that's the fit for today.
You sipping on anything? You drinking anything? You snacking?
Yeah, I'm drinking on water.
Okay.
Mountain Valley water.
Ooh, that fucking new pod money be hitting.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm not like your normal guests that come on with like the expensive closets or whatever, but I could at least have expensive water. And guys, I'm not buying the bottles. Like, it's getting delivered to the house in a big,
the big jugs?
water cooler. Fountain Valley.
What's your water budget every month?
Yeah, that's crazy.
I don't know. Chelsea's paying for Chelsea. I don't want to know, dude. I know it's too much.
That's a real drip. That's
like too much versus free. Too much versus free. You know?
That's the literal drip.
So you have the Mountain Valley like office water cooler in your kitchen?
Yep.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. That's a fucking flex, bro. Yeah, you probably don't want to know what the bottom line is on that. You're going to be pretty butthurt, I'm sure.
It's like, I think it's comparable to like cable or something.
Okay, that's not.
It's like a utility.
He streams his hydration.
Dude, I was very against it at first, but then I kind of got used to how clean tasting the water is.
It is really good. You gotta give credit where credit is due on Mountain Valley.
Eventually, I want to get just a sick filter installed in the sink. One of those really expensive 3-step.
Yeah, bro. Get your alkaline right.
Yeah.
Yep. But wow,
you really are fucking LA pilled, aren't you, Jack?
Yeah, this is the most ridiculous conversation we've had in a long time. This guy's a water snob.
You haven't talked to water?
No, we do, and like, I guess we'll ask for a fancy like water as the rider, but like, there's a difference between me going to like a fancy bodega to get somebody Topo Chico and you talking about spending HBO money on a water cooler every month.
Well, with LA guys, it's about the still water. With New Yorkers, because we're just big Jews over here, it's all just like seltzers. It's just seltzer talk.
Oh, is that Kanye on the podcast? What the hell just happened? The fuck?
Ghost lives matter.
Okay, so fit check, drink check complete. Thank you, Jack. Let's get into the fucking show, James.
Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Jack, thank you for coming back. 2-time member, an elite club. You just launched the Otherworld podcast this month, out right now. Episode 4 just came out. Episode 5, I believe, will be out, and maybe episode 6 by the time this drops. Why did you feel the need to launch a whole podcast devoted to the paranormal?
That's a very good question and kind of a long answer, but
we got 2 hours.
I mean, do you want like the real answer?
No, I want the fake answer.
Yes,
I want
are
the real
you kidding?
answer.
Well, okay. It started 5 years ago when I was like the first year of Yeah, But Still.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And, I mean, we don't like think too much about Yeah, But Still. Like, we're shooting from the hip. Like the episode, it's like, okay, come over, record, like we'll talk about whatever we want.
Yeah.
And it was the same kind of thing where it was like Halloween was fast approaching. And I was like, maybe I'll do a Halloween episode on Patreon. I feel like that would get people to sign up for our brand new Patreon. So
a stunt pod.
I tweeted
Novelty
or I
podcasting.
said on the pod something like that, like, hey, if anybody has a paranormal story and wants to tell it, like send me an email. Thinking I would maybe get 1 or 2 ghost story submissions that would be usable. And I figured if I got one, then I would make the episode. It was like super low stakes.
Right.
It's like, okay, if I get a good story, I'll make the episode. And then, dude, I checked the inbox a couple days later and it was flooded.
Blessing.
Damn.
It was crazy.
An
crazy amount of submissions.
spookiness.
Flooded like a mountain valley.
Exactly. But I mean, so not only that, they were really, really intense.
Like you weren't being trolled, right? These were sincere, genuine paranormal activities.
Very sincere. And not only that, they're from our listeners. So all these people were pretty much similar guys to me, around the same age and same sensibilities. And like not the type of people that are trying to like make up nonsense to get attention for this or trick themselves into thinking this happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
These are all
generally sensible people,
very sensible, normal people that had one very abnormal thing happen to them. And for the most part, they immediately tried to forget about it.
Right.
And they were stories where it's not like, oh, I like thought I heard something while I was half asleep.
Right.
It was like people had like intense, first person encounter situations where it's not, there's no room for like, what if it was something else? It's either this happened and this person saw it, or they're the biggest liar of all time. Not only that, like a master storyteller.
No, totally.
And should not be trolling me. They should instead be coming for Stephen King's head by just writing books.
Yeah.
Because that's the other thing. It's like, I don't want to get on a tangent, but there's a lot of reasons why I could like tell when somebody's exaggerating or lying.
Of course.
After interviewing so many people. But the fact is, like, most people aren't very creative. So like
they're fucking stupid.
You know, like most people aren't very creative. So there's a lot of ways I could tell when they're lying, but these stories, like this is a funny story. It's a weird example, but I remember this one stuck out to me is I talked to one of our listeners who saw Sasquatch, and like, I've never taken that seriously. And to be honest, like, I don't think about Sasquatch that much now.
Well, except when you listen to Monster on Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. Yeah.
You think about Sasquatch less than Jay-Z is what you're saying.
Yeah. But he told me this story, and just like the setting of it, it's like the first one that I really remember sticking with me. But anyway, he was like talking about how he was driving home from somewhere through this very strange, like empty foresty area. And he had an original iPod, and he was like, I had to pull over to pick a new song because you know how that is. Like, and that like really stuck with me. I remember that era where you're like, remember trying to pick a song?
It's like click.
You got to really focus. Yeah.
It's like you're going to crash your car, like navigating to like a different album. So he like pulls over on this dark road to pick a new song. And he's like looking down at his iPod, like finds the song he wants. Obviously it's in the middle of the night, and he like starts to go put the car into drive, and like he looks up, and like there's a fucking Sasquatch in front of his car, like staring at him, and it's like 10 feet away. Not only that, he was like really nervous to tell me this, but he's like also it was female. He's like, I thought that was really weird. And I was
how does he know?
Titties?
It had boobs, like breasts,
but they're fucking huge.
which I guess is a thing, you know?
Sasquatch
but like
titties?
this guy's telling me this, and it's, you know, like when people make up stories, like there's certain details that were in that, like with the iPod and things like that like only like a master screenwriter would think to add that stuff in, you know? So, and
damn, imagine
I can also just tell by talking to him, but that was like a story where I'm like, you know, he continued to tell me the rest, but it was like, all right, dude, like this happened, like,
it convinced you.
Maybe he was like hallucinating in some way that we don't like. I don't know.
Right.
But,
that
like,
we can't understand. Yeah.
Yeah. But it was a lot of stories like that where it's a person telling me this, and there's not really room for, like, it wasn't in the distance. It wasn't like, oh, my friend saw it and told me. Like,
it's not third
hand. It was right
in
in front of his face. Like, and he a lot of detail, and I've gotten a lot like that. It's about all sorts of things.
It's so interesting that these are like, like you said, these are like normies that had like a crazy experience. It's not like a crazy person hit me up because they got abducted by aliens, an anal probe or whatever. But like that's really okay. Excuse me. But that's very interesting to me. These are just all normal people that had something extremely abnormal happen one time. And that's crazy.
And usually try to forget, like, because that's what I found is the immediate instinct is like, man, I just need to forget about that. And like since then I've talked to, you know, tons and tons of people about all sorts of things, but that one stuck out where it's like, you know, this is a first, like an eyewitness account from a dude that's very similar to me. And I started going through the submissions and interviewing these people. And essentially, you know, I started making these Halloween's episodes for but still on Patreon, but it quickly got out of hand where so much work. And then some of these stories later on became so heavy where it's like, man, like, dude, like, why am I telling this on a bonus episode of a comedy podcast where we normally talk about Maxim magazine? It's like, wait, because I've done some insane interviews.
To be fair, Sasquatch titties are pretty funny.
Yeah.
And dude, some of the funniest stories I've ever heard come through this and involve something paranormal.
And like there's were one they traumatic experiences, or are people like, I actually had this? It was like, okay. Well, they don't look back fondly at a hilarious.
Because I think some of the best stories like have both, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, there's one that I'll probably re-release later.
Okay.
In fact, do you know that dude Kareem?
Yeah, of course.
He was on the pod.
He's gonna. he's going to tell me a story that I thought was a joke at first, but I think it's going to be. So I think I'm going to do one really funny episode of Otherworld, where I'm going to do Kareem's, where it's like a weird premise.
Okay.
He says that he was sexually assaulted by a jinn, which is like a Arab genie demon. Okay. People are really scared of these things, by the way.
Okay.
Like if it's part of your culture, people are terrified
of getting sexually assaulted or of jinns.
Of both. Jinns. Like even talking about them. It's one of those things where like I've had multiple times somebody submit a story to me where they say they have an experience with that. And then when I'll go to schedule the interview, they'll cancel and be like, hey, I'm sorry, my family, like I talked to my family and I can't do this. Like,
so Kareem is going to make a big fucking joke out of this very serious.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
But
is there a lot of
my story? Cause I thought it was a joke. And then I was sat next to him at I went to this like dinner with a bunch of media people. It was like,
that is scary. That is scary.
Like
spooky.
It was Taylor Lorenz, like that dude, Adam Faze.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know that guy.
Yeah.
He's a New York boy.
Yeah, we know.
The guy who does the NPR, like the Planet Money TikTok or whatever, like that kid. There was like a bunch of people, and then I didn't know anybody. And then next to me is Kareem. I met him. We start becoming friends, and he turned to me and he's like, by the way, I emailed you. I'm the guy that got jerked off by the jinn. Because I previously got this email of somebody. Like,
yeah. Did he bust?
I think so. He said his dick hurt. But like,
it was a
I thought this was a joke.
Cursed hand job.
Dude, it was a 2-line email. Somebody said, I got violently jerked off by a jinn so hard that my dick hurt. And God. And I was like, all right, like somebody's playing a joke, whatever. Right. Well, it's stupid to waste your time fucking with me like that. And so I just ignored it. And
he was serious.
I couldn't believe that I met the person who wrote me the email. And not only that, but it was Kareem. And then I was like, wait, so that actually happened to you? And he's like, yes. And I think it's terrifying, but he realizes it's funny.
Is there a lot of overlap with the paranormal experiences and sex? Or are they generally different realms? I have had some stories that like vaguely, like I have this one that so I have like some of the classic stories I'm going to sort of like slowly release on Otherworld as well. Cause like the initial season of Otherworld is all new stories, but right. I'm going to occasionally I have like some of these classic interviews that I've done in the past that I'm going to sneak in there. But I had one where it was like vaguely involved with sex, but it was just about a guy who it was about a girl he was like hooking up with. And I think a lot of the like having relatable people tell these stories is big too for, just like the validity reasons, the believability of it,
where it's like, and it's like a very relatable situations, like how they got into it. This was like a girl he was hooking up with that he was like, I think he said in the podcast, like, I knew she wasn't like right, but she was really hot. Like probably not a girl I wouldn't normally date, but dude, he had like,
she had a haunted pussy or something.
He had, well, I forget exactly what was wrong with her, but while at her house, he had like horrifying like poltergeist experiences, like seeing shit like fly across the room, like terrifying, like
right,
awful shit. Like I think it started in the middle of the night. He hears in her bathroom, just like he said, it sounded like somebody was in there just fucking ransacking the place, turning it up. Like, and nobody is in there, and he goes in and it's fucking ruined. Like ruined. The house is ruined. And
this dude was just like, dating a crazy bitch, dude.
Like, dude, she was in the bed. And like I believe he saw something like swirling above them and stuff flying across the room. Like it just got so bad. But that one had a funny plot twist at the end because I was like, well, dude, like what happened after this? And he's like, well, dude, like I eventually broke up with her a few months later. And I'm like, wait, what? Like you didn't, that wasn't the end? Like you didn't, like that day wasn't the end? He's like, no. He's like, no, dude, she was so hot. Yeah.
Pussy so good, maybe see a ghost.
Yeah, respect, dude.
He kept going back.
Bro.
He kept going back in.
Oh my God.
I don't know if,
shameless.
I don't know if the Yeah But Still audience can relate with the guy hooking up with a girl, but you know.
Hey, that's true.
What's been the scariest story that you could just give us the brief, because I don't want to spoil anything, but like the scary story you heard while really committing to Otherworld?
Truly haunting shit.
Like gave you the fucking willies.
Dude, okay. Well,
and spoil as little or as much as you want. We obviously don't want to like detract from people actually tapping into what is a great fucking podcast, but we want to get a little taste.
Usually I like manage to not get scared by it. But
what a big boy.
No, I think I just like compartmentalize enough,
Right.
you know?
Yeah.
But okay, from the past, dude, I mean, I just got to, I don't want to like definitely knock on wood, but I did just get like a late submission. That's the only time I've been scared reading one.
Really?
And then I also just interviewed these people in person for the first time. I think that added to it, but I was scared after that too, I have to admit. I interviewed these two the Romani people. I don't know if you're familiar. Like the Romani are
I've seen we've seen that
like what most people would call gypsies.
Yeah.
But it's like
we've all seen Peaky Blinders.
We've seen Peaky Blinders.
Oh, okay.
Peaky fucking Blinders.
It's the Gypsy King.
Yeah.
So I interviewed these two people that are 5th generation Romani psychics. Like that's just part of their culture. Like it's, you know, their mom, dad, like their parents, like it's all they know is this stuff. It's just their truth.
Right.
So they have a lot of insane stories. Some really freaking wild ones like that, like sort of, you almost like laugh at it first, but then later it starts to get to you. So I did not sleep very well after interviewing them. And I don't want to, I mean, it might be out by this point, but dude, I actually interviewed them twice. So I interviewed these people twice. And I think this might be a bad example for promo because people might think it's ridiculous, but dude, I interviewed them. He originally told me this insane story of like, essentially, these are the people you call if you have a problem, like real Ghostbusters.
People. Yeah.
Like
Exorcist
they're psychics
type
and
shit.
Like if you have something, they do that. And they have a shop that you could go into. So they help all sorts of people. So he originally hit me up with like, a story about like the one thing that like actually really scared him because the husband deals with a lot of bad stuff. And these are people our age.
Okay.
Like, and if you met them in the street, you'd be like, oh yeah, these are just like Jack's friends. Like they just look like normal people that, you know, would fit into any place we'd hang out. They're
not dressed in 3-piece suits and fucking newsboy caps like Cillian Murphy.
So his original story was freaked me the fuck out because like essentially this woman came in that like had vibes and energy bad enough that like even scared them. And she was saying some stuff that like, I forget exactly what she was saying, but enough that they're like, we're not like, you have to get out of here. Like,
oh, they were like, they refused service.
Yeah. Like literally get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm sorry. And, I think she was saying something about how she like is possessed by the devil and wants to share the gift with them. And like, she doesn't even, like, I don't think she, and they are both like, get the fuck out. Like, you need to leave because they also work in their own home. And then he started to experience like a lot of bad things around the house. But then I think it started to get really bad when he was playing Xbox like late and like his wife had gone to bed and he was like going to the kitchen to get a glass of water before going to the bedroom. And he like looks under the couch or he looks across the room and sees under the couch this big thing that's hard to describe. And he's like, I'll do my best, but it's like basically imagine like the size and general shape of a man, but it's covered in like white matted fur, almost like a goat, like matted. If you imagine like a billy goat, where it has like
so like
hair
like a satanic representation. Like isn't that like his insane?
It has like claws.
It was White Phillip. It was White Phillip.
Oh my God, that voice is terrifying me. And it had like these yellow eyes, and it's laying under the couch, staring at him.
Damn.
Watching him play
also
Xbox.
Scaring him. No, this is after he was playing video games.
It's like, bro, you're fucking trash.
But he was having like a normal night.
He was having a normal
night. So he sees the thing and like stares at it for 5 minutes and just looking at it, which kind of throws me off. But like then I have to
very long.
I know, but then you have to remember this is like a professional,
right?
And he's like, the thing is like you can't be scared of them. Like that's what they want. So
if you see a demon, if you see a demon, it's like prison, right? If you see a demon, go up to him and punch him in the nose.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're just supposed to ignore it.
Oh, really?
Like not give it attention, basically.
So like treat it like
attention.
Yeah, treat it like a petulant child. Yeah, okay.
But okay, so he sees this and like he eventually ignores it and goes to bed, but he's fucking terrified secretly. And then his family starts seeing it. Like, and his family have the same gift essentially.
Right.
So like
the eye,
his little cousin is like, who's the white man in the tree? Like at a family party. And they're like, and he describes it and it's like up in the tree.
Oh shit.
His mom sees it like in the kitchen. Everybody starts seeing this thing. And then they eventually
independent from me. Like they didn't he didn't say like, I saw this thing. They were just seeing it as well. So
yeah, they were just all seeing it separately.
Okay. Infected.
So his wife eventually like basically got rid of it.
How?
I guess it was like she is like, I mean, she wouldn't quite explain like the details,
but she ghostbusted it.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have like ways that have been passed down for generations.
Ways to bust
like
ghosts. Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, these people were very scared to tell me this. Like, dude, they did like ceremonies in their house before telling me the story.
Damn. Did you ever see see the white goat? The white goat man?
Dude, if I ever saw that, I would stop the fucking podcast.
So I know you said that you're very good at compartmentalizing like all these stories and kind of filing them away, but you also said in the promo that this podcast probably did irreversible damage to your mental health. So like, how's your fucking brain?
Bro,
how you doing?
Wait, I will talk about that in a second, but I didn't even finish that story.
Oh, sorry.
There's more?
Wait, so they tell me that fucked up one, but then the conversation continues and it starts to get like goofy in a fun way, but this is where I start to like get to the parts where I'm like laughing, but then later scared. They start talking about all the other crazy shit that comes into the shop, and they're like, you know, it's actually like a stressful job. People come in like having worshipped Satan and like don't want to anymore, and they just, you know, they have like weird like relics they need to get rid of and like whatever. But then like one of them mentions like, yeah, people come in and they worship gnomes. I'm like, wait, what? Like back it up. Go back to the gnomes.
Worshippers in the shop?
And they're like, yeah, like we've had multiple gnome situations. And I'm like, wait, like gnomes? I'm laughing. I'm like, little like garden gnomes.
Gnome hearts.
Yeah.
And they're like, dude, they laugh too, but I guess this is a thing, dude. And so I thought it was funny. I eventually interviewed them like the second time in person, and I thought it was funny. But then at night, I found after they fully explained the gnomes, the second time I talked to them, they explained it to me in more detail because they like eventually trusted me enough.
Yeah.
And I started to get
the gnome
fucking
intel?
Scared. I mean, it made
gnomes evil?
More sense. Dude, basically like there are some people, and I didn't know this, but I guess like, you know, back in time, medieval times, basically, there were people who would like worship gnomes and like fairies and things like that, you know.
Right.
So you would leave like a little offering to the statue or whatever. But so basically people will start to do that. And this is all just like what these Romani people told me. So I don't have firsthand experience with this, but they told me that like basically, and they know 3 sets of families that this has happened to, but like they'll start doing that to a gnome, and then the gnome, they'll leave it like a piece of fruit or something to the statue for good luck. And then the gnome will come to them like in their dreams, or like, you know, maybe hearing it in their head or something, and be like, yum, that was good. Can I have a chocolate? Dude, I know. Like, can I have a chocolate cake?
It's like it's a give a mouse a cookie situation.
Oh. Yes. So they'll give the gnome a cake, and then they'll be like, wow, that was so good. Like, what do you want? Do you want money? And like,
ooh, I see.
So then the gnome, like all of a sudden they'll have like huge success in business. And then the gnome starts asking for bigger things.
Like a blood sacrifice.
Literally,
yeah.
They said that usually the gnome eventually asks for your firstborn son.
Damn, dude.
Is that
so? It's like making a deal. This is making a deal with the devil after you give him a 3-course meal, basically.
They tell me that they know people who this has happened to, and that the gnome has taken their firstborn son.
What do you mean?
Okay.
The son, like basically like the son like kills himself out of nowhere.
God damn. So it's not like a...
What the fuck?
You don't have to like do like
told me that, like, so like they've told me like multiple people they know close, not like I heard about this. They're like,
Right.
he told me in the interview, like, this is like happened to my cousin, that we caught them like worshiping a gnome, and the oldest son killed himself, and now they're like in financial ruin, but they used to be loaded.
Okay.
And like,
Damn, the gnome give
and
it,
like,
and the gnome
by the way,
take it
like,
away.
I thought this was
was
going to be a circumcision thing where it's like,
dude,
off with the foreskin.
mind you, I'm not like, I was approaching this interview thinking like this will be a funny, kind of spooky conversation, but that night I was scared. Not like, I think what scared me was just like, dude, there's a lot of stuff happening in the world that like is very weird that nobody knows about.
Right. That's unexplainable for sure. Holy shit.
Well,
All
and
right.
like, I don't, and like,
Don't
dude,
feed
most
the
of
gnomes,
this,
guys.
dude, by the way, guys, for all the people listening, my podcast is normally not that weird. It's like much more grounded things. That one is an exception.
That's pretty fucking scary.
Yeah. That's
It's
a good
very
like,
weird, dude. Like it's,
Yeah.
I thought that was going to be a funny thing where me and them are laughing together, but they eventually told me like, it's actually not that funny. Like,
Yeah.
it's actually,
My second cousin killed himself.
well, cause like, yeah, cause
Not funny.
and they also said like, it's not a gnome. Like they're like, it's not a gnome. Like a lot of the problems that they have to deal with at their shop is like TikTok girls that like want to be a witch or something. And they're like, they say that like, if you're doing something, if you're like reaching out to the spirit world, like it's basically one of those old, they compared it to like one of those like 1-900 numbers where it's like the chat line.
Yeah.
Like you call in and like
Miss
it's going to
Cleo?
connect you with somebody. They're like, somebody's going to pick up.
Right.
Like, it's not going to be who you want though. Like, but it'll be like somebody, if you're reaching across the other side, like asking for the gnome, like something will come and be the gnome.
Right. Okay.
Like it
The
doesn't
gnome,
matter.
you
Like,
don't choose the gnome chooses you.
Yeah. So don't reach out if you can't. If you can't stand the heat, don't reach out.
yeah. So that's, and like same with the Ouija board stuff. I hear a lot of bad stuff with that. Like anytime somebody's like doing something where they're like actively trying to like summon something.
Contact. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
okay. So this brings me back to the
Bad.
question is, has this fucked up your mental health?
Yeah. What's your state right now?
Dude, okay, so I keep a pretty compartmentalized view of this. I just like try to focus on telling stories, you know? And for the most part, that's good. I don't like really, like my head's in the game, my heart's in it, but I'm not like a true believer. I don't even really bother asking myself those questions.
Do you
know?
believe in ghosts?
I don't know. I think belief is a strong word,
Okay.
right? Like, I haven't seen one with my own eyes. I've experienced stuff. I've definitely had experiences that made me think that there's definitely something going on.
Can you tell us what those
Yeah,
maybe like
can you-
paranormal experiences were?
Yeah.
break that down?
Dude, for me, it was, my parents had somewhat recently got divorced. My mom had moved to Florida and was with this guy that she ended up dating for a long time that I did not like, but they got this house together and it was like, they were renting this house that was like big enough that me and my sister would have bedrooms. I think they were making like a push to make us cool with this, you know? And
By bribing you.
it was
By
like,
getting you
or
new
just
shit.
like providing us a home that like they took away from us when they got
They're
divorced.
putting the pieces
Like-
back together. Shout out Mrs. Wagner.
You can have a bedroom again, like basically.
Mhm.
So-
Don't ask a gnome for the bedroom.
bro. So, like, it was just kind of weird being there because I didn't like the dude, right? And like, this is pretty fresh off the divorce.
Yeah,
So,
fuck that
as you
guy.
can imagine, it's just weird. Like, my mom's like living with this other guy. Like, it's just
Yeah.
He's from
anybody who's gone
Florida,
through
like, what
like
the
a
fuck?
divorce,
How old were you at the time?
20,
Oh, okay.
probably something like that.
So you're probably
Like,
still like
about to graduate college.
like
It was
an
just like a
angry,
weird.
an angry late teen.
Yeah, it was a weird time. Anybody that's like gone through divorce knows how weird that is. So anyway, like that is all to say that they go to bed at old people hours. I don't fall asleep until late because I'm 20. So after 10 p.m., it's dark and I just go in my room. My sister does the exact same thing. It's like down the hall and like we don't feel comfortable being there because it's just like some guy's house basically. So we're just fucking posted up separately in our own rooms. Like I'm like watching Breaking Bad on DVD or something until 2 a.m. and she's doing whatever the fuck she does in her room. Like, I don't know. And like chatting on AIM or Facebook Messenger or whatever the fuck we were using at the time. So every night, I would just be bored as fuck in my room.
Yeah.
And I would hear my sister, I would get hungry too. I would like want snacks, but I didn't want to like possibly have to go out there and like run into the
dude
boyfriend guy. Yeah. So like I would hear my sister out there like getting a snack and I'd be like, oh, this is my chance. Like we could do it together. Right. And I'll chat her up or whatever. So I would like go out into the kitchen and she would be back in her room. I'd be like, all right, whatever. And I would like get a snack and like maybe get a drink and just go back to my room really quickly. And, this would happen like all the time and I didn't think too much of it. And it was kind of a creepy house, but I would just pretend it wasn't, right? Like
that was in Florida, right?
Yeah, it was a really spooky place, but mind you,
spooky state.
It's already a weird time. So I just kind of chalk it up to that. And eventually, like when I'm back in Chicago, not even at Florida, my mom mentioned, I don't remember what provoked it, but like I'm on the phone with my mom and I said something about like, oh yeah, Christy, like always like getting snacks in the kitchen, but doesn't wait for me. Like she like rushes back to her room. And then my mom's like, wait, what'd you say? And I'm like, she's like, we just need to patch in Christy. And like, that's my sister. And I'm trying to remember exactly how this went down, but like she's like, all right, wait, like tell Christy. And I'm like, well, Christy, I always hear you like out in the kitchen, like making food and stuff. And I'll just go out. Yeah. I'll go out there to like join you and like snack it up, eat the Costco food. And you'll already be back in your room. She's like, I've never gone out in the kitchen. I am terrified of the house. Like I've never left my room at night. I've never gone in. I would never do that. I'm like,
the fuck?
I hear you out there. Like you're opening, like it's my mom shops at Costco. So I like the cookies are loud as fuck. Like,
they got that Costco loud pack.
I can hear every night. I hear what she's opening. I hear her like, do you know what I'm saying? Like where you're in the other room and you could like, so you're like, oh, they're making a sandwich. You hear the process. And then my mom, so basically this opens up this whole can of worms that like nobody eats food at night in the kitchen. Cause like I'll go out there and like, I'll see that she's not there and I'll maybe grab a bottle of water and then go back to my room, but I'm not going to make a full thing. And
was the boyfriend not sneaking out and sneaking some chips?
Did anyone hear anything besides you?
What I find out is that like they've been hearing each other in the kitchen. Same thing. Now all of us are on this call realizing we all hear people making food at night in the kitchen because the whole house is centered around the kitchen. Yeah. And the rooms are on 4 corners and 1 floor. That's an important part. The rooms are all next to the kitchen. It's like the central hub of the house.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that's not that scary. I'm like, all right, there's like some old lady ghost. And I guess the lady in the house before, she was an old lady. She died in the house. So I'm like, okay, it's like an old lady, like maybe making food, whatever.
She fucking loved Costco.
Yeah, she was hungry.
So, but then like, I guess like it got worse. And like my mom didn't tell me this, but like there was a few situations that happened and I don't remember the order of them, but like, she started to experience things around the house. And then like, she started noticing kids outside the house a lot, like looking at the house. And then she asked them one day, like, hey, what are you guys doing? And they're like, we all come to look at the eyes. And they're like, what? And they're like, there's red eyes that look out of that window. And it was like the bathroom, my mom's bathroom window. I guess that's where the lady died. And basically my mom figured out that like, this is like a known house in the neighborhood.
God.
And then for my mom, like basically I forget.
Did she get mad at the boyfriend? Cause like he bought it for cheap cause it was like haunted and discounted?
Dude, they were renting it. So eventually they were able to get rid of it. But like, I think the worst thing that happened is that she came home one day and every single drawer and door in the entire house was wide open. Like,
bro.
And the front door, side door, everything was locked. And like, she thought somebody broke in, so she called the police. Like, they go and check, like, everything's locked except for every single cabinet. Like, if you can imagine, the entire house is, like, opened up. Nothing's taken.
Okay.
What the fuck?
And, like, it's not her boyfriend, because he's so anal. That's like the main reason I don't like him is that like if I leave my laptop out, he'll like put it back in my room.
Close that
like,
laptop.
Don't leave things out. Yeah. So like,
Don't leave things out.
That's
Jack.
where that was where it got bad, and I don't remember.
Dude, that house is haunted 100%.
Yeah, it was 100%. And dude, the worst part is that we had to keep going back there. Like after I knew this,
Oof.
and I would continue to hear stuff in the kitchen, but.
Did you learn to like live with it or ignore it?
100%. I would go eat food in the kitchen eventually. I would get hungry enough. After I knew, I'm like, fuck it, dude. I'm gonna go get some of that extra large hummus.
Yeah, I don't want this
like,
fucking dead bitch eating all the Costco cookies. I want some for myself.
I would eat it in my room, but I would eventually just nut it up and went out there. But dude, I mean, like, I know that's not a super exciting story, but for me, that was like my first experience where I was like, you know what? Something's going on, because I know it's kind of confusing to explain the kitchen thing, but we found out everybody was scared to go out there at night. Like, and nobody was out there doing.
None of the food was ever like eaten, right? Like it was like you heard cookies being chomped on, but like there was always like the full pack, right?
I don't know if I remember that like enough, or if we would have even been able to tell with
like, because do ghosts eat like real food?
They eat ghost food.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
So like, I've
never heard of that.
Food. Yeah. Anyway,
but that and like
they eat ghost food and they jerk off Kareem.
But dude, a lot of people have like, that's not even like, I don't even think if I wrote into my own show, I wouldn't even put that on the air, because like I get more extreme ones. That's like a mild.
I mean, that's pretty. The kids, all the children of the corn looking at the eyes. That's pretty fucking weird, bro.
That's definitely like the fact that it's like a known house in the neighborhood definitely freaked me
haunted,
out. But
it is a haunted house. 1,000%.
It was bad energy. And like, honestly,
well, in the TV version of this, in the TV version of this, this would have united the family and you would have become friends with the boyfriend. But it sounds like he was.
Yeah.
Oh no, it was so the opposite, dude.
Well, what the fuck? We got to keep going to this fucking fucker's house.
We eventually got in like a fight, but
nice.
Like a physical.
Oh,
but
not nice.
Yeah, like that was the last time I was at that house.
Who won?
But me.
Nah, yeah.
I mean, I just like threw him across.
Fuck yeah, dude.
It was a short.
Did you hear the ghost in the background cheering like, yeah, fuck him up.
Fuck that guy. He's so anal. That dude sucks.
Well, I think that's like what made it okay for me. That's why I wasn't like that scared of the ghost, is because I was like so distracted the entire, like that was so much worse.
Yeah, you had other issues. Right? You had more immediate.
Real world issues are always way worse.
No,
dude.
sure.
Like 100, and that's what makes these stories good.
Until the supernatural ones drive you to suicide, but
right, totally.
In the opening episode of the show, the one I chose is just kind of a fun one, and this woman saw a very strange apparition that you should just listen. I don't even know how to categorize it, but I'll say this. She sees this thing that's very detailed. Her whole family sees it, and her children are in the car. It's right in front of their face, like this clear fucking thing that if you listen to the episode, you'll just listen to the episode. But anyway,
okay.
Her husband gets out of the car, fucking books it into the house, leaving her and her babies.
Right. He fended for himself. He's like, I'm out of here.
So like she has to get them out of the car and like goes inside, and like the thing is still out there, this like apparition that you'll understand if you listen to the show. But like, that's a fascinating story to me, because immediately she has to deal with this other problem that's much more severe to her in the moment, where like she's terrified of the thing she's seeing.
Yeah.
But also she's like, wait, like my husband's a fucking coward.
Yeah, he abandoned the whole family.
Like, well, it's like that movie it's like that movie with the avalanche and the dad just fucking sprints away.
Yeah.
It's like something where like most people like don't even have to get a test. Like they're not like put through that test really until maybe even like after the marriage. But like all of a sudden it's game time, and he just fucking books it, and she finds him under the covers and is like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And like they eventually get divorced like later on.
Yeah.
But like
he was who he
funny
thought
to
he
me,
was,
because it's like
coward.
Yeah. Well,
turns out the real thing haunting that marriage was his bitch assness.
Yeah.
Exactly. But it's like real life problems are usually worse, no matter how weird it is, where it's like, dude, even though she just witnessed this thing, she has to deal with like the fact that her husband is a huge pussy and like was willing to abandon
his behavior,
abandoning his own child in the face of danger.
You should have made like Jack Wagner and tossed that bitch across the kitchen.
It's so fun. Yeah, it's so funny to. I mean, it's not funny, but it is just so funny to see a spooky ghost and immediately dip on your bait, like
your whole family.
Like run. You don't even grab your kid.
Right. You got to square up.
I hate to laugh at it.
Square up with that specter, you know.
That is nutty. But dude, you know what? I just love these stories. I don't know what to make of it. I've definitely had other situations where I just feel like I'm getting sort of like too close to the material.
Yeah.
You start to
the source.
Like we've been kind of going. I don't want to like ramble too long, but in the midst of doing like a lot of interviews, I was in the middle of like running. I was running a lot in the morning, major routine. I ran every single day, and was on my run and just hit all of a sudden out of fucking nowhere. Like it felt so sick to my stomach, like extreme nausea. Like I was about to throw up, like, and it was so unusual. Cause like, you know, I was an avid runner at this point, and it's so routine, like nothing abnormal happens on this run. I do the same route every day.
But then you shit your pants.
And so I'm immediately like, oh, dude, like, fuck this. Like, I must be really, like, I'm fucking sick. Like,
and
I'm mad, you know, like I'm pissed off because like nobody wants to be sick. And I'm immediately like, man, I have food poisoning or something. Like, this is going to be bad. It's like that feeling of dread. I had like really bad dread because I was like, this is going to be a bad 4 days or whatever while I puke my brains out, whatever's going on with me. And I'm just pissed off. And I like managed to, I'm frozen at this point. It's like 6 a.m. Nobody's out. And so I'm like, all right, I should try to walk. I have to like walk home. So I start walking and it's hard to walk. I'm like really so nauseous. And I like round a corner and I look up and I see an ambulance with its lights on about 50 feet in front of me. And the paramedics are hauling a dead body out of a house, and the family is standing there crying.
What the?
And I look up, and we're the only people on the street. It's like the sun's coming up, and then I start getting even more pissed. Like, real, I'm actually pissed, but like scared. Where I'm like, oh, I'm like, dude, if I walk away from this and feel okay, that's gonna be so much worse than if I have food poisoning. Like, it's gonna be so much worse. It's gonna be so much worse. And
so what happened? Were you actually sick?
Bro,
or was
I turned around. Like I was, instead of going down around that corner, I like kept continuing down the street that I originally turned on. And I got about 1.5 houses away out of the eye line of this thing. And I felt completely normal again. 0% sick. I was able to run like 3 more miles.
Damn.
Ran after that, I was just pains. Like, dude, it was great. I mean, it's not like, I felt so bad. It's almost like I just walked into it was almost like I guess I like walked into the air of like death or something.
Yeah, you touched the other side, bro. Jesus Christ.
The Grim Reaper just passed right through you.
Yeah,
but anyway, that freaked me out, and I was immediately just like, I cannot wait to move on from that. I was just like, dude, I don't want to ever have that shit. Yeah. Like, I don't want anything to do with that. I only want to hear the stories. I don't want to,
you don't actually experience it or live it yourself.
And a lot of people do, which is like crazy. Like, I watch those shows where people like run into these places and it's like,
seek it out.
If you believe that, like, why are you going in there?
Yeah, it's weird.
So you must not.
Wait, Jack,
must not believe it.
What do you think happens to us when we die?
I have no idea.
Do you care to speculate?
Do you think there's a realm that we occupy? Do you think we're just worm food? Do you think it depends?
I haven't like formed an opinion.
Do you believe in a higher power?
I mean, I think, dude, it's hard to answer these questions because I think like the way I do the show is to be completely like open-minded and curious. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not even trying to dodge.
No.
Are you agnostic?
No, I mean, sorry, I had to plug my computer in.
Are you spiritual at all?
I'm trying to think. I don't have like a firm answer. Maybe you guys might want to cut this part out. I'm not sure.
No,
but like,
you can be like,
I'm probably still figuring that out. You know, like
has the podcast
religious and then drifted?
Has the podcast like jogged or like shaken your systems of like how you perceive the organization of the world or like humanity at all? Like, because
certainly, I think I'm like in the process of figuring it out. Right. I'm definitely in the process of figuring that out. And like,
is that one of the reasons why you like doing this show?
Yeah, I think I'm looking for the answers. Right. I don't know that I'm like gonna find any myself, but I'm just trying to like document things as much as I can. Right. But yeah, I don't think it's lights out. Something's going on.
Yeah, something happens.
Yeah. Well, I have no idea. It could be so many things.
Right.
It could be so many. I have a million different ideas of what it could be. Like, it kind of shifts around. But
well, look, when you told me you started this podcast, I wasn't surprised, because you are probably one of the most like curious and explorative people.
Intrepid.
I think that like, yeah, intrepid that we know. And that's why like people love you and all the projects you undertake. What, besides like the paranormal, which you're documenting on the Otherworld podcast, like
exhaustively,
what unseemly corners of the internet have caught your attention recently? I mean, obviously there's like
the meth subreddit.
Yeah, our meth.
How's our meth doing these days?
Dude, it's so sick. I don't like check in a ton, but like the meth subreddit is sick because it's like, it's not even people like sharing information. It's just people like posting selfies at work, just being like, just smoke meth.
It's like they're like flexing.
Just smoked a big bowl of meth.
Feeling good. It's like meth. It's like meth flexing.
Selfies of people being like, I heart meth.
Yeah. Smoke some meth. Feel great.
Somebody, when I did a post and it was like getting a lot of attention, somebody was like, oh, great. Like, it's people like you, they're going to get this community banned, like blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, dude, it's not like they're sharing how to like survive an overdose.
Right.
These are literally just people like, yo, doing meth and listening to Zeppelin. Like, it's like not, you know, it's not like people are sharing information of like, or like doing like safe needle sharing programs or whatever.
And much like the Otherworld pod, the people, at least that you've shared, seem somewhat like relatable and quote unquote normal.
Yeah.
Right? They're not like toothless meth.
It is weird to,
do you believe that they're high functioning meth users? Like that's at least the perception that's trying to be presented.
There's a lot of them. I mean,
that's crazy.
We do not have time for this, but I live next to a couple of them in the house right there.
Like you saw them on the subreddit?
I've talked about it in the bro. No, I mean, I've talked about this in the pod, but we live in like a suburban area of LA now on purpose. We're over the craziness of like, you know, apartments and city
downtown
nonsense or whatever. Like I've lived in downtown LA before and just like, you know, seen people like die on the streets. Like,
yeah, that place is like a fucking war zone.
It's just like, you know, the type of stuff you have to deal with in a city. We're just like, dude, we need to like move a little bit into like a more suburban area. So we did that, and like we had about a month of that before the people next door moved out, and in moves the craziest fucking lady I've ever met in my life. Day one, accuses us of building a meth lab under her house.
How did this meth lab get here? You guys must have built this.
What an accusation.
The first day, she comes over in she's wheeling a swivel chair. Like she's using a swivel chair as like a prop. She's propping up her leg, and it's like her leg's all bruised up and like not wrapped. She like broke her foot or something, and like didn't get it treated yet.
Yeah.
And she's like swivels over through the mulch to our driveway and like confronts us, and we have guests over, and we're like, what? And her boyfriend's standing there silent, and like she's explaining how we have this meth lab under our house, and it was like she could hear us all night, and like it was just like I didn't even know what to say.
Her house,
and I was like turning to her boyfriend, and I was like, what do you know? Like, what does she talk? Like, what is this? Like, can
you translate?
We don't even know these people yet. It only gets worse from there. And dude, I of course called their landlord right away, be like, hey, you should know that like the fucking craziest people I've ever met just moved into your house and threatened us, because the police had to come that day. She also like threatened us, and I'm like, it got so wild that I'm like, dude, I'm calling the cops like to sort this out. Like, like we need like a middleman here to like, you think that like we built a meth lab tunnel in your house, like, so have the cops come look under your house. Like, should they come and like
paranoid schizophrenic, or
was there a meth lab? Yes or no?
Yeah.
It turns out they were the meth users.
Right.
But dude, I tell their landlord he doesn't give a fuck. And he's like, that guy's an engineer. he's not a drug addict. He's an engineer. I guess he was, but like he's an engineer.
Wait,
and like
you snitched to the landlord because it was just becoming like too much to deal with.
No, well, day one, dude, I'm like telling the short version of that story, but like imagine that happening the first day somebody moves in. So we rent this house. Like I tell our landlord, like, yo, like this happened. And he's like, okay, I'll call the guy next door. Like they're both Chinese. So like we live in a very Asian area, specifically Chinese. And like, so he calls him like in Chinese, tells him like, hey, like this happened. And the guy's like, there's no way. Like your tenants are lying. My guy's an engineer. What does yours do? Like on some real like
he's a paranormal podcast host.
No, yeah, right.
Yeah, sound like the crazy one.
No, but like so that continues. Like there's insanity for. It took me so long to get rid of them, dude. But like they would threaten to kill us all the time. Like I was constantly afraid.
Yeah,
and like
so I don't.
This dude is like working as an engineer, and like. We eventually found their social media, and it's like almost looks like they had a somewhat normal life, but like it was a matter of like trying to convince everybody around us that like these people are crazy and making threats. And like I eventually got it on video, dude. There's an episode of Yeah, but Still where like the grand finale happens while an episode is recording.
Oh wow!
I forget how much was like on like actually made it in, but like I hear this domestic violence situation go like. There's a couple fight.
It wasn't a ghost. Okay. It was a true DV.
Yeah,
dude. Oh yeah. Okay. So we're recording in this room where I'm in now. In like it's quiet. I hear all the way from like through the windows and everything like this fight, and not just a regular fight. You know the difference between like hearing a couple fight and like all of a sudden it's so. I'm like I stopped the podcast and I turned to like everybody. I'm like, dude, like this sounds like a domestic situation, like domestic violence.
Totally.
Like, I feel like I should maybe call the police. What do you guys think? And Brandon hilariously is like on some ACAB thing. Like, bro, I don't think. I'm like, I don't think that applies for domestic violence. Like, I think we're supposed to call the cops.
Let's go mediate.
He's like, I don't know. He's like, I don't know.
Call a mental health professional.
And like, they weirdly are. Sort of like maybe we shouldn't. And I'm like, I'll figure this out after the episode. So I text my other neighbor, Brian. Shout out to Brian. I text him like, hey, are you hearing this? Like, I wonder if I should call the cops. We continue recording the episode, and you could kind of hear her like screaming at her boyfriend. By the way, it was like her attacking the boyfriend.
Oh, and
like she has a gun in the house. What? Like there's like a lot of reasons.
Gender roles on their head.
Yeah, wow. Shout out to her.
Real progressive.
Shout out to
I
that
almost
Chinese
never
meth head.
Ever talk to the guy, but like, so we finished the episode. It's very funny to go back to us goofing around, but we finish it, and like the moment we stop, shit hits the fan. Like I open my text and I see that guy Brian texting me like a wall of text, but all I see is the police are on the way, and I'm like, oh shit. And then my fiance runs in, and she's like, she's outside threatening to kill us. Like she's outside the door threatening to kill us
with the gun,
threatening to kill me.
She like waving the gun around.
No, she didn't have the gun, luckily. The police pull up. Brandon wants to take a fit pic. He's like, where are we supposed to take the fit pic now?
Just like me for real.
He's like, literally, where are we supposed to take the fit pic now? I'm like, bro, let's not do it. Like, we don't need to promote this. Like, we'll figure this out later. Like, this is insane. Like, there's a woman threatening to kill me. Like, active right now. And so
you got an active shooter.
Dude, so the cops are like running up my driveway. It's sundown. Cops are running up my driveway. This woman's in my yard threatening to kill us. I'm gonna fucking kill you. Come outside, motherfucker. Like, so I go outside and I see out of the corner of my eye Brandon and our two guests, his cousin and friend Jamel, taking a picture.
Yeah, Jamel's been on the show.
So I see that they're, as I leave to go deal with this, I see that they are indeed taking a fit pic somehow. And they might have even made Chelsea take the picture. I don't remember. So that was a funny memory. I go outside and like, dude, this shit's hitting the fan. Like and mind you, it's been a year of me trying to tell people like, dude, this is bad.
It's
like, you need to listen to me.
This is a year of people gaslighting me into saying that she's an upstanding member of society.
She's like full resisting arrest, hitting the cops like she's wasted on something.
Let's go. Meth, probably.
Dude, they take her away. They put her in a car. I'm so stoked because I'm like, dude, finally, like I have proof, right? Like you can't refute this. I have proof for the landlord because they're making our life hell, dude. I'm literally terrified of being killed by this woman
every day.
And so this is all to say that like the cops go and knock on her door. I'm like, dude, her boyfriend, she's been screaming at her boyfriend all night. Like I almost called you guys because of that. They knock on the door, like they eventually somehow try to get in contact with him. Like he hasn't been home all day. He's not even in town.
So she was
by herself in there.
Out on herself.
She was by herself engaged in this like 5-hour long domestic abuse fight with nobody in the house alone.
Maybe there's a ghost, bro.
Yeah, the spirits have got her, dude.
Bro, this is beyond ghosts. And
that meth pack, bro.
You don't think ghosts get wet?
Bro,
that's PCP, but
true.
Yeah.
I actually did.
It's angel dust.
Yeah.
Get it?
You know what's funny is that like she unfortunately, what they don't tell you is that like people get out of jail real fast. She got. I thought she was done. I thought that was it. It wasn't even
society,
remotely,
bro.
Yeah, it's because of all the money you contributed to bail funds, bro.
She gets out like way too fast. We went and celebrated. We went and had like a nice dinner.
And you come back and she's
We're
there.
like, fuck yes, bro, pretty much. And she went right back to it.
Oh no.
My Ring camera start going off and I hear her like, I go into my kitchen in the dark because I don't want her to see me. And I hear her like telling us that she's even more going to kill us now.
Yeah.
She's going to kill you twice.
Snitches get stitches. Dude, you should have never built that meth lab under her house.
I know. Well, dude, the good thing is that she never found the meth lab. Right. So the joke's on her. And I'm cooking to this day.
Yeah. Oh my God, dude.
That'd be so funny if like at the end I was actually
Wagner White.
So outside
the
of
greatest crime.
So outside of all of your like meth experiences, both digitally and IRL, is there any other like weird internet shit that you want to share with the listeners at home that you've run into? I know like I saw the Randy Johnson deep dive was
funny.
Was pretty good.
Randy Johnson's a photographer
and a drummer.
Love to hear that.
And a drummer.
Yeah, and a drummer. Yes.
A man of many hobbies.
Yo, when I saw that and like I was seeing I saw like the initial tweet on the same day, but then like your deep dive was like I was taking screenshots and sending them to my baseball text. I was like, yo, I might got to change my top go-to Yankee jersey from Ichiro to the big unit.
Yeah, dude.
I love him. He is so sick. Well,
he rocks.
Because I've been,
literally.
I do listen to like, a lot of metal and I know a decent amount of bands and people who just like kind of tour manager types. And so I had heard before that he is a big fan. Like I heard bands be like, dude, I was playing a show and like look over and I see this photographer that looks a lot like Randy Johnson shooting pictures of me.
Yeah, he's in the scene.
And then like after the show, it's Randy Johnson. He's like at the show.
And he has like good taste in metal, right? Like he has bona fides, right? Yeah, he's got good shit.
And like I've had so many people message me yesterday being like, bro, he comes to every single show in like the Tempe, Arizona area or whatever from like these years. And
that's fucking sick, dude.
I guess he's really about it.
For real.
Does he have a family?
The different life paths of him and Kurt Schilling are like,
oh my God, right?
There's no larger delta in terms of like two former teammates, two aces that fucking took different journeys in life.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know what? He took the right-hand path, I would say. He took the path of light and is in being a positive retirement. I think that sounds great. He sounds like a fulfilling life. He
found life after baseball versus like Kurt Schilling, who like obviously is just trying to, his life after baseball is ruining as many people's lives that he can.
I guess Drew Carey and Ken Griffey Jr. also shoot, and like I guess like if you have more money than you know what to do with, apparently there's something about very long lenses.
Yeah, they're
appealing.
Yeah.
There's something about like an $80,000 lens.
Yeah. I wonder what it could be. Yeah.
To each his own. That's what I would do. I'd rather have that than a watch.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Listen, Randy Johnson entered a new phase of life, and Jack, you're about to enter a new phase of life. You're getting married soon.
Congratulations, Jack, to you and Chelsea.
What is the wedding fit going to be? Obviously, that's the only question we care about.
Let's talk it out.
Turning the tables to you, I think I mentioned, and I don't know how long you guys record, but I might even have to get some off-pod advice. Dude, I have no idea.
That's the thing.
Is there when's the wedding?
April 22nd.
Okay, so you got time.
Yeah.
I got time, but I do need advice.
Where's it going to be?
I need to ask you the question that probably you and all of your listeners walk around every day dying, hoping that somebody will ask them is, I need somebody to share with me your autistic knowledge of menswear,
men's suiting,
and brands.
You're gonna like the way you look. I guarantee it.
Encyclopedic knowledge of brands, because I really don't know where to start. Like, I need a suit, but I don't know where to start. Like, I don't even know. People even ask me, like, well, what type of suit would you? I'm like, I don't even know.
Yeah,
I don't know where to.
Where are you getting married?
Like climate wise,
north of Santa Barbara at an orchid farm.
Okay, so it's not gonna be too hot or anything.
No.
Do you want to go flashy, or do you want like a suit that is like kind of on your rock star, like super special event, or do you want something that is like repeatable and adaptable to other events?
And is there a dress code? That's also very important. Have you talked to Chelsea about it? If the wedding will have a dress code, or what?
I mean, do they? Like, I feel like it's sort of implied, just like don't show up looking like a bum, right?
Well, that's way more.
Or do you mean like, oh, you have to wear white?
No, meaning like, I don't know. Is it going to be black tie? Is it like cocktail? Like, people give more guidelines than your idea of just no guidelines.
I'm sure there's stuff like this in the works that I don't know about.
Well, you should figure that out too, because
yeah.
You know?
Do you want to be looking like
it's not black tie?
Are we?
It's California, dude.
When it comes to like the, just like gray suit to like Dumb and Dumber tuxedo, orange and baby blue tuxedo, like where are we on the spectrum? Which side are we on?
Well, what do you think? What do you think is the move?
Baby blue tuxedo, obviously.
Because, I mean, there's like the classic black. And I think I need to go try some on, but what are obviously I need to go try some on.
Yeah.
Like where should I be going? That's like somewhere. I don't want to go to Nordstrom's, obviously.
Shout out to Nordstrom.
I think like I'm thinking like a step above.
Yeah.
What?
Shout out our friends at Nordstrom. All right.
Are your friends at Nordstrom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just say this.
I get what you're saying though.
Okay. Should I go to Nordstrom?
What's your budget?
Even know.
What's your budget? That's a big question. Okay, we got to think about a budget.
How much is so like maybe I'm thinking somewhere between like department store and Gucci. Like, what's that?
Do you want to spend over $1,000?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. Good.
You want to spend $3,000?
I think that around there, maybe. Okay. If I could wear it again.
Okay.
Right?
So you want to do something that you're going to wear again? Honestly,
what do you think? What should a man spend on a suit?
Around that. One of the sharpest suits
around
I've ever seen at a wedding.
Sort of what I thought.
The midnight blue tuxedo that the man above me on the Zoom was wearing.
Really?
And repeatable.
Yeah. Well,
for me, you're on the top of my Zoom screen, so it kind of looks like you're talking about God when you point out,
bro,
that you saw God.
God got a fit off it. God got a
the
fit
man
off
above you in a baby blue suit.
March 2019, God was getting a fit off.
I will double down with James and say that, like, here's the deal, Jack. You only have so many opportunities as a grown ass man where like you would need to get like a made to measure, or even, I guess, an off the rack tuxedo regardless. So like, I personally leapt at the opportunity to like use my wedding as an excuse to like get a tux that now I can wear if, God forbid, someone was dumb enough to invite me to a gala or like, just a friend's wedding that happened to be black tie. So I think like you should consider a tuxedo. I don't think you necessarily need to get a suit. I think you can kind of like kick it up a notch. That's just personally speaking.
But I wouldn't go black tuxedo because that's just kind of like penguin, boring, whatever. Like midnight blue is like a little left of center where like you are going to look cool, and it is like you can wear it to like a black tie thing, or but you're not going to be the guy that's just wearing a fucking tuxedo.
Yeah, and maybe like a shawl collar lapel, or
I've never seen a midnight blue tuxedo fail.
Yeah, it's.
What about your groomsmen? Like, what did they have to wear?
Well, my wedding was black tie, so they all, everyone was wearing. They were just wearing like tuxedos, and it was kind of like a dealer's choice.
Yeah, we all rented tuxes from blacktuxedo.com.
Okay, is it a plug?
Actually, I did get a free tuxedo from Bonobos because we had a plug there at the time.
Yeah,
I will just say this too, for no particular reason, it has nothing to do with maybe fashion people listening to this right now, but if maybe there was some kind of situation where a notable brand wanted somebody with like 134,000 followers to kind of come in and try on some suits.
This is what Lawrence did. Lawrence got his whole wedding sponsored.
Maybe there's some content to be made, you know.
Lawrence, how much did you pay for your wedding tuxedo?
I didn't pay full price because I got a friends and family discount, but I had to buy it. It wasn't sponsored by Patrick Johnson.
That was the last thing that Lawrence bought, actually.
Yeah.
March 2019.
One more.
And you know what? The crazy thing is I need shoes.
Yeah,
I mean, there's so much.
Whole thing, yeah.
I'll need other outfits. So really, like, if you're a brand, I mean, just like hypothetically, I'm not even like you know.
Yo, you don't think the Boot Boys could
just joking around?
You don't think the Boot Boys could whip up a tuxedo?
The Boot Boys suit?
Yeah, just a screen printed fucking fleece suit. I will also on some real shit. If the tux feels like too much because like, you know, it is like this California chilled laid back.
It is
wedding.
a very California wedding. It'll be by the beach, in a orchid farm, like is flowing by the beach vibes. Like it,
I would tell you then a really nice cotton suit. I would say get it in navy and then have fun with the details. Like let's get some peak lapels on that. Let's get like a really nice, you know, maybe it's a made to measure shirt for the occasion, but these are all things that you can continue to wear. Kind of like what I was thinking with the tuxedo, but thinking that might be a little bit too elevated for this kind of beachside Santa Barbara joint. So I don't know. We could talk off air.
You should get a double-breasted cream suit.
That would also be nice.
Yeah,
I like that. But like a lighter fabric, you know?
Yeah, what about green? What about a dark green? Is that crazy?
No, that would also be nice. I think that would be very.
What brands/stores should I be looking at? Well, it's like a classic, but cool suit.
Well, I guess you got to decide if you want to go off the rack and get something from a label, or like find a guy that like is local to you that can probably like you can pick a swatch of fabric and can like measure you and get you like a made to measure suit. So it's not going to be like, hey, look at me, I'm Jack getting married in Gucci, but it is like, you know, much more customized. Pick the lining.
You want to look like Jack Wagner.
How do you find that guy?
You know what we're going to do? We're going to put you on text with Mikey the Killer. And he's a big suit guy. I don't know if you know Mikey, but he's like literally wears a suit every single day. We're going to put you on text with him and he'll take care of you.
He definitely is. Mikey is a big like suit guy, and he's local to you in LA. And I'm sure he knows like a tailor that like you just get an appointment with the guy, go through a swatch book and like build your perfect suit for your big day. I think that's the way to go. Not walking into a department store and being like, you know, take me to the Tom Ford section, even though Tom Ford would be nice. Maybe Tom Ford, actually. Now that I say
maybe I need to try on some. You need to
literally go touch cloth. That's what you need to do.
You need to touch
100%. Yeah, I've touched too much grass. I need to touch some cloth.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I have to attend 5 different weddings. 2 of them are tropical. Do you have any fit advice for me in assembling kind of like a beach casual fit? Like, where should I go shopping?
Well, you should use this suit. You should get a suit that you can replicate, and then it's about just like depending on the dress code, having maybe some fun with the shirt or like the neckwear, things like
or
that.
You could go,
or the shoes.
The weddings are before the guest weddings are before my wedding. So obviously, I don't want to.
You could go. This is
wedding suit.
I need 2 suits.
If you don't want to drop $1 million on 6 different suits or whatever the fuck, you could go vintage and just find a nice tailor, update that shit.
True.
Absolutely.
Well, dude, the beach ones, I'm thinking like, and they're very like Costa Rica beach.
Linen. Like we're going full. You got to go. Yeah, you should get a vintage linen suit and
get a. I think I could not even do a suit. I'm thinking like I'm thinking the vibe of at least one is a little bit like
go to India,
cool button down.
Go to India and get a lungi. And just culturally appropriate that and get canceled.
It's a little difficult.
Well,
okay.
The great thing about getting like a vintage linen suit is like just wear if it's a super casual wedding, just rock the pants as trousers. Or
I really thought you would be like referencing some more specific labels for me on this podcast. I'm very surprised.
Sure, we can send you. I mean, we can send you to Drake's, you know, or like you know, like
Drake's, really, Second Lair, our boys Jay Muser, Patrick Johnson.
I thought I was like about to give you guys a gift as being like, hey guys, list brands to me right now.
Okay, here's what you do. You go to reddit.com/r/throwing fits, and every fucking other post is like, what are some suit brands? And then you can actually like peruse and get a sense of like what the actual brands are in like our world. I think like the 4 that we would list off for like more casual suiting: Drake's, Second Lair, what would you say, Jay Muser, Patrick Johnson.
Yeah. Okay. We'll send you all those Instagrams on our group chat.
Martin Greenfield even.
Yeah. And then like, I think from there you can kind of like find what works for you in your price range. And then, maybe it's Yeah, you don't need a full.
I'll
fucking
start looking
wardrobe. You just need one thing for you to get married in, and then another thing that you can wear leading up to it, so you're not like fucking wearing something on the big day that all these friend groups that are presumably also going to your wedding have seen you in already.
Or do this: go to our IGs. Sounds like you're probably gonna more of a Larry guy, and just be like, "Yo, Lawrence, what are you wearing here?"
Okay, in the comments.
Yes,
not
make it public.
Dude.
That's called it's radical honesty.
Yeah,
radical finessing.
Have your people call my people. No, I mean we'll send you all a bunch of links. But
what about
I'll have a lot of questions because I am like a blank slate. Like I don't even like.
Have you owned a suit in your adult life?
Only like. Yes, but only like in situations where I need it, like the following day or the following week.
Well,
I have the danger. Got one tailored.
The danger of getting a vintage suit is that it might be haunted.
That is also true.
That is true. Yeah,
somebody might have died in that home.
True.
Okay, well, speaking of the wedding, you also obviously got the bachelor party coming up. What shenanigans are you getting into with that bad boy?
That is a great. Very scary question.
What is a Jack Wagner? What's a Jack Wagner bachelor party? You guys going to just go smoke some meth?
I didn't well, the funny thing is that like I didn't tell anybody about like I haven't like announced my groomsmen yet to them.
Oh.
And I didn't.
Is that why you're on the podcast right now?
I only recently. No, yeah, I'm going to roll it out with a rose ceremony. No, I only recently asked my best man to be my best man, but like I found out that there's like already a bachelor party text being planned with like a mysterious amount of people in it,
because it's not the bachelor party's not for you, it's for the
it's absolutely
it is, and I think it'll be very much the case with this one because like I'm lucky enough to have a lot of sick guy friends, and it could be a large group, we'll see, but it'll be definitely for them. But I've at least tried to limit it to like a lot of the main ones have a tendency to like plan things that are bad on purpose, where it's like, oh, it's ironic, so funny that we go,
we're going to Margaritaville,
or just like chaos, But
we're gonna hit up Jack's neighbor for some
that,
meth.
but they,
exactly.
I have nixed some things that like I just thought could get dark.
What
like
did you
they
cut?
wanted to go like frog hunting in the swamps.
Okay,
of like
that just sounds whack. But
like the bayou, and I'm like that. Is just that's too many dark things that could happen to like 30 men.
Yeah.
With unlimited alcohol and drugs,
right? Someone's not making it out of the swamp. Obviously,
that's how a movie starts.
Yes,
a horror movie.
Exactly. Yeah,
like that's I know
what you did on your last bachelor party type.
Another shit. Dude, literally the other one was like ice fishing up in like Canada. Like that's another thing. It's like that is also how a horror movie starts.
Yeah,
but that's not enjoyable. I mean, you're just freezing your ass.
No, and it's like there's only one thing to do. Like, besides drink. So I think it needs to be some conventional fun in a pretty place,
like Vegas with the boys.
No, that gets too dark too.
Reno with the boys.
I think that's the worst place to have a bachelor party.
What, Reno?
Unless Vegas, Reno would be better.
What about like Napa? What if you guys like fucking
wine
again? Flip gender roles and went up and had a little boys trip up in the valley.
Some sideways type action.
Nah, not for me. Not for me.
Again, it's
sideways
not
was not a
you. So you just got to find something that is at least.
No, it needs to be rowdier than that.
Like, here's what we're gonna do. Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go.
They'll figure it out, but definitely not Napa.
James,
have you been to Napa?
No. We're going to Tempe, Arizona, and we're having Randy Johnson take us to every metal bar in the down up and down the strip.
Yeah.
He's gonna also be your wedding photographer.
Oh my God.
It's a whole RJ big unit package deal.
Dude, imagine the budget, just blowing the whole budget on Randy, the big unit Johnson coming.
That'd be fire.
Shooting from
I want the big unit package.
Hundreds of yards away on the longest lens. Like a huge telephoto lens.
And just opening up the pit.
He's not even present.
Opening up the pit at the reception, dude. Hell yeah.
He's across the way on a hill, American Sniper style. But you didn't even see him.
He plays Here Comes the Bride on the fucking drums. I mean, it'd be sick.
The Neil Peart set.
3 bass drums.
He's got 30 drums.
Yeah.
30 heads.
But yeah, the bachelor party, it should be fun. But yeah, it'll definitely be about them. And I just hope it doesn't get scary.
Are you gonna pod from the batch paw?
Hell no.
Batch pod.
But yeah, dude, I'm stoked. More than anything, as you get older, it's hard to get the boys to link up. So like,
oh, for sure.
That's increasingly become the case for me in the last couple of years.
What about wifey's,
I just did it.
What about wifey's bachelorette party?
They're going to Tulum or something, like just some classic. Like
nice.
I don't think they're gonna get into.
Can't go wrong.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong with Tulum, baby.
Yeah. Margaritas and penis straws.
Yeah.
Dude, I would rather her cheat on me than have the penis straws. Isn't that something? There's something like so unsettling about the way women celebrate that type of stuff, like the penis straws and the penis cake.
Everything's penis themed. It's every bachelorette party is penis themed.
The plastic penises. It really, I feel really dehumanized.
Save the turtles.
I feel really
use a paper penis straw.
To see a penis straw.
Also, like so,
just sitting on a counter, it feels so wrong.
Yeah, and the actual penises are like tiny.
Can you imagine?
They're like little babies.
One of the rare cases that men are better behaved. Can you imagine if we had a pussy cake?
I mean, I'm sure that's happened before, by the way.
Yeah, but only like the foulest person. Like,
right.
But
like
no,
clitoris meth pipes.
Most guys would not be like, no, I'm not going to make a pussy cake for my. It's disgusting.
Right. Well, I don't think any bachelor party in the history of time has ever featured cakes. So
that's true. Yeah.
It's not really on the menu. It's more
like nice and it'd be like strawberry flavor. That could be nice.
There's something about the penis cakes. It's like sort of maybe like an uncanny valley thing where it's like it doesn't quite look like it. It's like sort of horrifying.
Yeah.
Same with the penis straws.
It's like if a child drew a penis and they've never seen a penis like except for maybe like their own and like their dad's or something.
Yes.
It's like this is weird. What a penis looks like? ?
Yeah.
Which brings us to the next section of the podcast, Jack. Deadass.
Yeah. Speaking of cheating.
That ass.
Yeah.
Sucking and fucking.
Yeah. Sex and dating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Technical question, Jack. If you fuck a ghost, does it count as cheating?
No.
Really?
That's your professional opinion.
No. Because they're not of this earth. If you fucked somebody on the moon, does it count?
Well, are you fucking a person or an alien?
Let's say it's an alien. I don't think that counts.
I think you have to. Just more of a
no. It has to
I'd
count.
say that's like falls into an act of God, like an act of God. You know how like insurance like doesn't cover acts of God?
Yeah,
I think that's like a category.
They don't cover a lot of things.
It's like basically like a fluke.
Yeah,
like if an asteroid hits your car, like
if an asteroid goes up your ass and you have
there's
sex,
like certain exceptions. Alien just
I think that's like hit my cock.
If a ghost sucks you off, it's like, look, that's beyond me. This is the spirit realm.
Right.
Well,
in that regard, and this is like we're talking about with Kareem, can you even give consent? Is it?
That's another thing. Yeah, so you were really assaulted.
Yeah.
Also,
well, I think you can give consent to a ghost or say no.
Also, if you were down and it was good, like who needs to know?
Well, you do for your podcast.
That ghost got that spooky
saying, like,
pussy.
You're talking about cheating.
Yeah. That ghost got that gorilla grippy, you know? They don't call him Casper the Friendly Ghost for nothing.
If your significant other told you, confessed that they cheated on you with a ghost, I think like the ghost would be the concerning part, not the cheating.
Yeah, although it's the one guy that was in the poltergeist bathroom situation, he didn't give a fuck, right? He was just like, yo, good pussy's good pussy.
Yeah, was that Ghostbusters?
No, it was the dude that you interviewed for your podcast.
Yeah, in
Ghostbusters, yeah. Well, in Ghostbusters, he gets sucked off.
Yeah, sucked off by a ghost.
Yeah. It's like a scene that everybody forgets.
Do they?
You get some head.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's what most people. I think.
Well,
think
now,
about with
but when you saw it as a kid, you didn't know it's being sucked off.
Oh, right.
Just
well,
like,
sure. Yeah,
it's something you have to like relearn as an adult.
It's a joke for adults. There's
an Easter egg in there for the
very family friendly movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yeah. He just fully gets topped.
Yeah, he gets fully topped off, spooky style.
Yeah,
Ghost
top.
So
from the Headless Horseman,
they dropped the top on the top, dude.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
Jack, how much money do you make?
Yeah, since we last spoke to you.
Did you ask me that before? It's a really funny.
Yeah, we asked everybody. Yeah.
Well, it's public on Patreon, but I will say, Otherworld makes negative money.
Really?
So,
are you advertising?
Yeah, I'm
trying to monetize it.
I'm paying for it myself. So right now, I'm making
right.
Is
like
Otherworld
money?
Is Otherworld an initiative that you want to turn into a long-term thing that could make money,
I'm
or maybe
investing in it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see it turning into like a TV show or something?
All of the above. I want to go big.
Nice.
So, it's currently independently produced. So I'm spending my own money on that. So, Yeah, I'm not raking it in right now, boys.
But stay tuned.
I'm getting married, and my future wife also has a good career.
Mhm.
So
Right now, she's the current.
I mean, I'm
breadwinner.
still making money,
Yeah.
but right now I'm like definitely losing money.
Besides, but still, do you have other revenue streams besides YBS?
Are you directing shit?
I mean, I'm normally like directing and doing all sorts of like weird, inexplicable schemes and like just creative consulting. I've always got like different irons in the fire, but this has been eating up my time. Like making this show has taken a lot of time. So I really have set aside this month and kind of the last one to not really do much of anything besides that.
Okay.
And there's just been not a lot of room. So at the moment, I'm not I'm not rolling in paper, boys. The paper's rolling out of my bank account.
I get it. It's going the
But
wrong
you
way.
know what? Hey, you gotta spend money to make money.
Well, besides
right?
Otherworld, besides your own creative project, which is currently Otherworld is the main one, like what do you like to spend your hard-earned money on?
This wedding, I'm assuming, right? That's not going to be cheap.
Nope.
No, sir.
What do I like spending money on? I mean, I think last time I was talking about like tools. I'm very God.
He's thinking.
I'm sorry,
offering.
I'm so focused right now. I'm trying to think of like what I've bought.
Oh, Mountain Valley
water.
home deliveries.
I got a new bike recently, which I'm super stoked on. I got a Surly Crosscheck, and I've been tricking it out with like a bunch of cool shit. I've been riding a lot more, so that was fun. I got a Tesla last year.
You're getting a lot of vehicles.
That was fun.
Spending money on modes of transportation.
I do like my car.
My man is literally going places.
Yep. And dude, I'm honestly just like saving. I'm gonna get a house eventually.
Stacking up, baby.
I know it's like a boring answer, but
no, not at all.
No. I mean,
dude, I'm trying to think of like what I've been buying.
Like, what was the last time you treated yourself?
Oh, we're eating good. Like, to like a fancy toy.
No,
or something?
just like like a little trinket. You're just like a little
fancy
impulse buy or
toy,
something.
dude. The Tesla and the bike are toys, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty careful. Like, I don't spend a lot. I try to be wise, but we've been doing vacations and stuff.
Oh, nice.
I spend money on food and travel.
Nice.
Like whether or not I'm deciding to. Sometimes, like we've been traveling a lot because just both of our birthdays. So I went to Vegas for mine. I just like took myself to Vegas and like that was sick. We had some really good meals and did all sorts of fun shit.
You gambled
How much for sure?
Were you up or down?
Kind of came out even. I was up at first, and then kind of just came out even.
What do you like to play? Like, are you a roulette guy?
I like
blackjack?
craps and slots.
Ooh, slots.
Slots are the best. Slots
Yeah.
are where it's at.
And then
Video
we went to Turks and Caicos and like
See Drake?
did not see Drake. Where else did we go? We're around this summer. We're bopping around. We went to Miami.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, dude. You see Drake?
Camping.
You see Khaled?
Just anyone tells me they travel anywhere, the first question is that, did you see Drake?
Well, dude, he really is out there.
I know,
there's
he's
so many
man.
pictures of Drake's with
He runs
Drake
Turks
with
and
the
Caicos.
locals.
You kidding me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's small. Turks and Caicos is
Exactly.
small.
There's like 2 clubs.
There's a lot of celebs and rich people that have houses out there, though.
All right,
But
Jack.
yeah, I mean, dude, I'm boring answers. I've spent money on
not
like,
at all.
No, dude.
everything's fucking expensive right now.
True. Tesla is.
Are you guys feeling that?
No.
I guess. I don't know. New York, here's the thing. Like, well, I guess even in LA, it's like it is already expensive as fuck where we have chosen to plant our roots, all three of us. So it's like
you haven't had any moments where you're like you order like a dinner or something like that you're used to paying like you kind of have like a number in your head what you think it's going to be, and then it's like
yeah, some places where like beers were $5 now like $6.
Yeah.
That kind of sucks.
Booze.
But, like,
that's all.
well,
I've had like comically like large
Really?
price increases experience.
maybe
Yeah.
it's maybe I don't know.
I think with New York, like Larry
Maybe
said,
you're already like you guys are already hanging out at the most expensive
Yeah,
places.
probably.
So
We're
it's
already
like
balling.
you can't get
Yeah,
more
we're already balling.
expensive.
No, with New York,
talking
it's
to
already
two
like
ballers.
New York is like it's already expensive, so it's kind of like you kind of just like have to accept that. And then like we've been here for so long that we've kind of like found ways to not always be like paying for the most expensive shit, where like you see on TikTok, everyone's like, New York's so expensive. Like I had to spend fucking $16 on a cocktail. It's like, yeah, like that's unfortunately that's what it is.
That's reality.
Like, you know what's expensive? Renting cars on Turo. That's fucking expensive. I'll tell you that.
You guys do that?
I've done it a few times.
I use Zipcar, but Zipcar is also
Where are you going
extremely
in these cars?
Like upstate.
Yeah, day trips.
Okay.
See my parents, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's got a Tesla. All right,
Jack.
Jack.
Where do you go when you take your car? We just don't own our own vehicles. It's like
we live in a city. We live in a city with public transportation and walkability. So
that's also fair.
There's that.
I like how it started with me talking about like literally gnomes in possession and fucking insanity, and now I'm like, prices sure are going up.
Yeah, you went full boomer mode.
Thanks, Biden.
Yeah. Be like, I don't. Yeah, no, I haven't bought myself anything.
You sound like fucking Kurt Schilling over here.
I know, I got so boring at the end. Sorry. But
no, you always end strong, Jack. In fact, we're going to end it with some constructive criticism because you're doing amazing. The new pod is fucking climbing the charts. Go tune in for some spooky listening sessions. Tis the season. You're doing amazing, but we want to see you do even fucking better. So we'd love to offer up some constructive criticism. Take it or leave it. Highly suggest you take it. I'll go first. Peer into your crystal ball and tell us how we're going to die. How do you think Lawrence is going to die? How do you think I'm going to die?
Yeah, just speculate.
Oh, I don't want it. That's so mean, guys.
I mean,
we're all going to die, Jack. I don't know.
Yeah, but it's just the fact of the matter.
How?
What if I just like went like really vivid, like horrifying deaths?
Okay, I mean,
the gnome is going to drive me to suicide.
Yeah, the floor is.
No, I feel like it's like slightly too clear. Like,
yeah.
No, I mean, I just want to say that I would hope that you guys both die at a very old age in your sleep, right? Like, isn't that how you'd want?
No.
Or I would want you guys to be shopping.
Opium overdose.
I would want you guys both to be shopping. Okay, so how about this? You're together.
Yeah.
You're together. And you both are at whatever store you want to imagine yourself in. But they are like, guys, come on, like we have these new suits just for you.
Mm.
Like we have this picked out, and you guys get dressed and you're like, damn, this is the best I've ever looked. You're like currently looking yourself in the mirror.
Yeah.
This is the best I've ever looked. Next thing you know, sniper bullet
right through the
straight
dome.
Through the window. One shot kills
Headshot.
both of you.
Oh, wow.
Double head shots.
Wow.
Camera zooms in the distance. It's your enemy. I don't know who your enemy is, but
I thought you were going to say it's Randy Johnson with taking a photo.
It's fucking Randy Johnson, dude. He accidentally, he was using a sniper scope to spot the picture, and he accidentally pulled the trigger.
He thought he was taking a photo.
Yeah, but it was actually a rifle.
Yes, great idea. It's fucking Randy Johnson.
Damn.
He grabbed the rifle scope instead, and it had a rifle attached to it.
Honestly,
it was a combination rifle and photograph, so he took one last fit pick.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and it was fire.
And it was
the camera. The bullet is like traveling towards you.
No, there's pink mist coming out of us, like, and it automatically gets uploaded to Instagram, and it gets the most likes and comments we've ever had.
So many likes
before it gets zucked. Damn, yeah, I'm cool with that. You said we're gonna be old. Yeah, I'm with it.
Oh, that would be soon.
Oh, that would be soon. All right, well then, if you guys,
you would look good though. You'd be like at your peak.
Right,
you know?
right, okay.
So like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is happening in the past.
I'm sorry, this is happening pretty soon.
Yeah, okay, all right.
You don't have. I'm gonna be honest with you. You do not have long to live.
We better go live Moss.
You do not have long.
We got to live Moss.
All right, that's good to know. Yeah, we'll heed your warning and start living life to the fullest. Versus
enjoy this week.
Yeah,
enjoy this week.
Yeah. So from James's very like ethereal, metaphysical kind of question, how about we just kind of stick to brass tacks here, Jack? Since you're the pod god and you're launching pods all the time, and clearly you want to do all the heavy lifting, why don't you launch another one and you can bring me and James on board, and we can just hang out, do as little work as possible, and find a way to maybe make some money.
So run a podcast for you.
Yeah. Another one.
That sounds like a great idea.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know what that would be about.
I would love to experience. I would love to experience that for once.
Yeah. Are you doing any work?
Who are you asking?
Do you host at all?
Who are you asking?
We'll host it.
Okay. Are you just there kind of consultants?
No, like it'll be the three of us fucking around, but instead of like there'll just be two Larrys and one Jack.
Yeah, exactly. Versus.
Got it.
Yeah. Versus now it's a Larry and a Jack who goes by Jim, right? So that's kind of like the current situations.
100%.
My life wouldn't change, but maybe James could get a little bit.
No, your work would actually be cut in half because half the Larry is because
I would be taking the workload.
Yeah, you would. But like, clearly you're looking for ways to kind of spend your time, and idle hands are the devil's plaything. So, just something to think about.
I'll take that into serious consideration.
Please do.
Always business mindset.
Yes.
Always grinding. Jack, what would you like to promote before we get you the fuck out of here?
What are we plugging?
I mean, you already know. Otherworld.
Otherworld. Where can the kids follow you on social media?
And what's the Otherworld social media? What's the Instagram handle for Otherworld?
At Otherworld Pod on Twitter and Instagram. I don't have a TikTok yet. It needs to happen.
Oh, for sure.
I need to find some like Gen Z kid to run it for me. Something like that.
Yeah.
I need to get on paranormal TikTok. That's on the to-do list. At Versace Tamagotchi on Instagram, Jack D. Wagner on Twitter. But mostly listen to Otherworld Pod.
Subscribe to Otherworld.
By the time this comes out, there will be a lot of episodes out, I think.
Yeah, like 6 or 7.
All bangers.
Review.
All bangers.
All that shit.
5-star reviews. Jack, thank you for coming on to the only
You're the best, bro. Thank you.
About to go listen to Otherworld right now. Chef, take us out.